Speaks. It's Jared and Bob. Again, you're on YouTube and you're like, they're wearing the same thing. It's because we're doing another show. We're back.
I have a sweatshirt on this time.
Oh,
I wasn't wearing this before.
Well, I'm still wearing the same shirt. So
but I generally leave this down here, so I'm always wearing this.
Yeah. So I do want to give a quick shout out to Vinny, friend of the show here. He almost came on this episode to talk about how poorly he was doing in our weekly Sarcasm Speaks Pick'em, which now that I say that, I realize we didn't talk about it on the last episode. So I'm going to open with it and say you can still join. You can still jump into the weekly Sarcasm Speaks Pick'em, $6 a week. You can, obviously $5 goes towards the winner, and then $1 goes in the season-long pool. Week 1 is almost in the books. It will be in the books by the time you hear this. Week 2 will be in the books by the time you hear this.
It'll be time for week 2 picks by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
No, it'll be time for week 3 picks.
Week 3 picks.
Holy shit.
Week 3 picks. Yeah, by the time this comes
so I
out.
mean, you can. Anyone that wants to join, you just more or less you'd be trying to win weekly, I guess. Because I mean, you could probably come back if you hit at a high rate.
Should we have an option for people that join like after week 3 to just give $5 a week? No, it's $6 a week. Okay,
it's $6 because I want it's more or less anyone that is going to play and contribute is going to contribute towards the season long for whoever wins that.
Yeah, no, that checks out.
That was the reasoning for doing the 6 and 1 for doing the 6 and splitting it as like 5 and 1 is because if people only want to do like a week here or a week there, it's like you're going to give again, if someone does 5 weeks, you only gave $5, but you're going to give something to the people who are playing every week.
Right. That's fair. No, that's a good point. So yeah, Vinny was going to be on here to talk about his awful week 1, because at one point Vinny was 0 in the pick'em. He has since flipped it around and won 3 picks, but as it stands, going into Sunday Night Football in week 1, we have a 3-way tie for first place between Sean, Murph, and Benedict Arnold. And then there's
he's such a loser.
Then there's 5 of us that are tied for second, and you and I are part of that 5.
Yeah. So. See, this is why I don't check till Monday, because there's too many permutations to be settled.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Well, now it's like you don't even check until almost Tuesday morning because we're doing Monday Night Football this year.
Yeah, but either way, like I could usually see like.
Yeah, you have an idea of how it's going to go.
Tonight's the big inflection point because I'll know exactly who is in the running. Can we see people's tiebreaker points?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah,
which is interesting. So I'll throw this out here.
Don't tell me we have a tie.
No, but there's a potential. So there's a 3-way tie for first place right now. Sean and Murph both have Tampa Bay and Denver. They have Tampa Bay tonight and Denver tomorrow.
Yep.
James has Dallas and Seattle. So of the 3, 2 of the 3 have the exact same picks. And also, not only are Sean and Murph both on Tampa and Denver, they both have the tiebreaker total at 46 points.
Sick.
Yeah. So we might not need it, right? Like we might not have to get to that
we'll see
point,
what happens after tonight.
Yeah.
Because I can always.
So we're rooting for a Dallas cover.
Whatever. I mean, again, if it's.
But then Benedict Arnold wins.
Whatever. Don't care. Someone's got to win. It's probably going to be me this week. I'm also not looking.
Yeah.
Until tomorrow.
So I think that nope, there's no chance. Well, James and I could tie.
See, like, this
If
is too
Tampa
much.
covers
This is
and
too
then
much.
Seattle covers, then James and I would tie.
This is too much.
Yeah. And there's still a lot to go with 2 games left. That's the best part about the pool. You never know what's going to happen until it happens. It's just like some might say,
wow, that's
just like life.
That's so philosophical.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So we get some interesting things that have been happening in the last 10 minutes. Not really in the last 10 minutes. I'm being facetious, but there's a lot of happenings. So we've been big proponents on this show for years now. If you've been with us and you've been listening to us, I guess I'm sorry. I don't know why you probably hate yourself so much that you listen to us over the last 3 years that we've been doing this. But in that time, we've talked a lot about aliens, right? And a lot about UFOs. And throughout the timeline, we had that point where, and time doesn't make sense to me anymore. Was it this past April, or was it April in 2021, where the US government came out and was like, yeah, no, UFOs are real?
I want to say it was 21.
I think it was also 21 too. So roughly April of 2021, the United States government comes out and says, oh yeah, by the way, UFOs are real. But they changed the name. They call them UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenons, right? Not unidentified flying objects. So whatever. Well, over the last, year and a half, there's been all kinds of commotion for, regarding UFOs and aliens. Like there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. Well, recently, the Pentagon has changed its tune. And the Pentagon has come out and said they will no longer be releasing new videos of UFOs. They said, we're done. We're not doing it anymore. We did it for the last 18 months. We told you guys they were real. We have some footage that's been coming out. We've talked about it. Not anymore. Because now, what happened was the government transparency site, the Black Vault, which I've never been on, but it's a government transparency site apparently. So the Black Vault submitted a FOIA request, which is the Freedom of Information Act. So they sent in a FOIA request for UFO videos. The United States Navy said that declassifying any other videos of UAPs would, quote, harm national security. So last year, the government's like, yep, nope, they're real. We have the footage. Here's a bunch of footage on them. Let's talk about them. Let's put it in the news. 18 months go by. Some stories pop up here and there. People talk about aliens, UFOs, all this stuff. Yeah, we know, we get it. They're real. They exist. And now, it's like September of 2022, the government says, yeah, we're not going to talk about this anymore.
And weren't they supposed to release all their info?
Yeah, I think they did.
Well, did they? If they're gonna not release any more info,
well, they're not going to release any new info. So everything that came out already came out.
Okay.
And now, I think it was like a 750 page fucking thing, or 7,000 page thing. I don't know. It was some absurd amount of fucking information that came out. And now they're like, yeah, we're good. We're not doing that anymore. Because national security. So I wonder, now again, this is just a fun conspiracy theory. I don't know if I really even believe this, but it's fun to pontificate, right? I wonder if in the last 18 months, right, since they came out and released all this information, if they kind of figured it out. Like if they kind of figured out what these really are, who they belong to, and if they are extraterrestrial, if they actually made contact with them.
I see. Yeah, I'm like
Right. Like it's a fun story. Like, I don't know if I really believe it, but like, why else would they say, yes, UFOs are real? Here's all the information that we have on them. And then 18 months later, be like, yeah, we're not going to tell you guys any new stuff anymore.
Yeah, it's got to be too juicy.
Yeah. It's national security. So that's what I mean. Either they figured it out, right? Like they're like, because I've heard a lot of really funny theory. Well, not fun. Well, yeah, I guess funny. Some different, an interesting theory that I've heard about some of these is that they're actually time travelers, right? Like it's not aliens. It's just people like time traveling that are just sloppy and like get caught time traveling. And it's like, that's, but they're not like, obviously they're not getting caught, right? Because we haven't been like, oh, there's humans in there. They're time travelers. It's like, oh, they must be aliens from some other galaxy because we can't see inside of the crafts. But I thought that was an interesting one, that it could be time travel. That is just kind of sloppy, right? I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know what they are, but I feel like the government might know now, which is why they're going back to the whole, we're not talking about this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, so the only problem is now I'm not educated enough to really figure out like why.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what they're hiding.
They're hiding something. Just don't know what it is. How lackluster would it be if they were really just time travelers, though? Like if the government just kind of figured out like, oh shit, they're time travelers. That means we figure out time travel in the future. All right, well, how do you do it? So there's another thing, right? That there's a weird theory that I heard. I forget, it was some physicist or astrophysicist or someone, maybe it was Neil deGrasse Tyson, but they said, so whoever it was said that the moment time travel is invented, time itself cease to exist because time is no longer linear, right? Because theoretically, if you live in a time where time travel is possible, there's no such thing as like 6 hours from now, because you can just go back 150 years. So you're to steal a little bit from in Avengers Endgame, when the Bruce Banner says like all that time travel you see in movies is bullshit because like your future is your future. So if you go into the future, I'm sorry, if you go into the past, if you go into the past, that past becomes your future. And when you're there, it's your present. So like the current present becomes your past, even though it's in the future. And it's like it's this whole thing, right? Because you look at it like time relative to the person is linear, right? Like if I experience time, 6 hours from right now is 6 hours from right now for me. But if in 4 hours I hop in a time machine and I go back to 1776 so I can watch Ben Franklin become the first president and invent electricity, then
and freedom,
6 hours from now for me is 1776. So that means that 1776 is in the past, but it's my future. And then when I'm there, it's my present. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what they're saying. Like the moment that time travel is invented, time just doesn't exist anymore. Like there's no such thing as time because it can just shift and be manipulated. which is the argument as to why time travel can't be done and has never been accomplished.
If you could time travel, would you go back or would you go forward?
Back. I don't want.
I
don't want to know. I don't want to know what's forward. What's happened just in the last 30 years. Like, I don't need to know what's going to happen. I know it's not going to be good, right? Like, I know it's not going to be good. I'd rather go back to a time where it's like I know was good.
Yeah, it's the known versus the unknown, right?
Yeah, I'm good. But like I said, we've been trending downward in the last 30 years. I don't need to go 130 years into the future. But I think it's interesting.
It is weird to think too, like, can you, like, obviously, like, bookmark, like, today, here, this time, whatever. Can you go back to 1990, whatever, buy a bunch of Amazon stock, have it, own it, whatever, come back to now, and then, like, does that work? Like, I don't even know.
I don't know either. What happens to yourself, your body, right, in that time period? It's almost like there's a gap in time.
Well, because theoretically,
like, what did you do for the last 30
nothing.
years?
Well, no. See, that's movie time travel.
Right.
Because
that's true.
If I'm sitting here wearing these clothes right now,
yep,
and I go into my time traveler,
yep,
and I go back, and I'm walking around like a fucking weirdo because no one wears clothes like this, which I'm not wearing anything crazy. They probably do. And then, I buy a bunch of Amazon stock and I hold it with a bank that still exists now. And like, I can keep the account and all that.
Yep.
If I take myself and I just shoot myself back here, there is no version of me.
Right. No, that's true
anymore.
That's
because
true.
It's me and the one I am.
Right. Yeah. So that's where time travel gets crazy.
If I drew a 5 and a
timeline,
right? If I drew a 5 and a 0 on my cheeks, and I went back, and they were like, I'm like, $100 grand worth of Amazon, please. And they're like, what's with the 5 and the 0 on your face? Oh, I just came from a football game. And then I hop back in time travel, and I come back to right here, right now. I should still have the 5 and the 0.
No, absolutely, because your time is relative to you.
Yes.
So you are moving linearly, but where you're jumping on the timeline of where, like, the world, it changes.
Yep.
So that's like what I was just saying. Like, in a 6-hour time span, like, you're 6 hours older, but you could have gone back to 1992, bought Amazon stock, then went back to 1969 to watch Woodstock, and then go back to 2022, and you've only aged 6 hours, but you've experienced all of these different time things.
Right. And it's like, if you're going to die at 100, you're still going to die at 100.
Correct.
So it's like, if you're not going to stay in a linear timeline, you got to keep track of your shit.
Yeah. You know what the really weird and interesting thing about this, and I'm not smart enough to figure out this and figure out the difference. So as it stands right now, right, like, time travel's not possible.
Correct.
And then, like I said, there's the whole thing that as soon as it becomes invented, time kind of falls apart. However, there is a way to time travel right now. We just haven't been able to develop something that is capable of it, because what you need to do is you travel at or near the speed of light. So if you travel at the speed of light, again, time is relative. So, like, your time passes by slowly. So, like, you could travel at light speed for, I don't know, 4 million light years, right? Well, you just traveled 4 million light years in, I don't know, call it like fucking 6 hours. Like, I don't know how long, I don't know the
I have no
conversion
idea.
time, but let's just say it's 6 hours, right? So you have only aged 6 hours. But when you travel 400 million light years and then you turn around and come back 400 million light years again, you're now 800 million years in the future. Because you're moving so fast, your time is relative to the speed that you're traveling at. And we on Earth are not. So, like, theoretically, if you go 400 million light years out, turn around, come 400 million light years back, like, Earth might not even be there because you've just traveled 800 million light years, which is the whole thing. Like, when what are they called? Astronomers, right? When they talk about the stars in the sky, when they say they're a million light years away, you're actually looking into the past. A million light, because that shit is so fucking far away. It took light a million years to get to our eyes here on Earth. So what we are actually seeing is a million years ago for some of these. Some of these, it's like 500 million years ago. So, like, in the current present time, like, that entire fucking sun might be dead, right? It might have blown up, might have become a black hole, might have done whatever. But, like, we're looking at it. But again, it's so far away. It took light 500 million years to get here. So what we're seeing is actually 500 million years ago. It's fucking nuts.
Yes, but why can't we do it yet?
Yeah.
Yes, we're not smart enough.
Yeah, we're not nearly smart enough. But it's the whole Einstein theory of relativity, right? It's time is relative. Time is relative to you. So, like I said, if you travel at or close to the speed of light, you theoretically will age slower than people on Earth, right? So it's an interesting like experiment to think of, like, fighter pilots, right? Because fighter pilots also don't have very long careers either. Like, Tom Cruise in Top Gun is a fucking fake. Like, no one's a fighter pilot for 40 fucking years. Like, you got like probably 15 years or less on average. They're not letting 60-year-olds get in a fucking F-16. Like, that's not how that works. So, but if someone was a fighter pilot and you flew in that plane every single day and got to, Mach 3, would you age slower than the average person? Like, if you had a twin, right? That'd be a cool twin study, because the twin studies are really interesting. But, like, if you had identical twins and you put one of them in an F-16 every single day, they fly at Mach 3 for a cumulative of 8 hours, which is a miserable fucking existence. You spend 8 hours of your day in a fucking fighter jet, but whatever. I wonder how long before you would notice, like, discernible aging differences. Like, maybe Mach 3 or Mach 5, however fast maybe that's not even fast enough, right? Because that's just 3 times the speed of sound. And the speed of light is way fucking faster than the speed of sound. So maybe it's not even fast enough. Yeah, the speed of smell. It depends. It depends on what's being smelled. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bunch of, like, random thoughts and, like, dumb things that I think of sometimes. That's definitely a hits blunt moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I didn't know we were gonna do fucking psychedelics.
Yeah. Well, maybe Jones can set something up.
We can drink a bunch of Robitussin.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just a way worse hangover.
Oh, it's awful. Just like absolutely ruins your stomach.
Remember when we were kids and they used to tell us in the DARE program that if you did drugs, it would burn a hole in your brain?
No, dude, I wasn't in
oh yeah, you went to
I wasn't in public
school.
school.
Yeah. It's so funny thinking about like some of the shit they used to tell you in the DARE program. And it's like, if you smoke weed, like you'll fuck up your entire life. And they would do these like worksheets, and it would be like, Johnny smoked a little bit of weed, and then by Thursday he was addicted to heroin and his whole life was thrown away. And it's like,
happens in minutes, dude.
really? Huh? Like that's what you're telling me? Like that's what we're telling these kids? Like you're trying to like scare them into not doing drugs? Like some drugs are really fucking fun. Like I actually heard this on an episode of Rogan not too long ago. He was talking to one of his guests, and he said that his kids will talk to him about drugs because he's got a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old, I think. And he's like, yeah, like, you know, the kids at school will talk to them because they listen to this show, or their parents listen to this show. And then they go to them because they go to school together. And so they come to me about questions about like drugs or whatever. And Rogan was like, basically what I tell them is just don't do any of the drugs that are really addicting and that will ruin your life. But like, there are some drugs that are fine, like weed, mushrooms, like LSD, like those drugs are typically fine.
No, dude, because remember, LSD stores in your spinal cord. So if you ever like break your back, you'll be on a permanent trip. Remember that?
Yeah. Or this is the most hilarious thing that I never realized was just complete bullshit until we got to college. Because one of the things they used to say, right, there's that story that, oh, this guy went on an LSD trip and he got stuck and now he thinks he's a glass of orange juice. And I heard that same story from like 3 or 4 different people in college that all went to different high schools or different, you know, public school all across the state. And they were like, oh yeah, we had a guy who thought he was a glass of orange juice too. And then I go, wait a second. What are the odds that 4 random cities all across the state of Massachusetts all had someone that had a bad acid trip that got stuck, and now they just walk around thinking they're a glass of orange juice? I go,
extremely unlikely.
That's very unlikely. I think that's a bullshit story. Like that's a bullshit like DARE story that's just made up. Like DARE is such a fucking bullshit program. But like I said, there's nothing wrong with weed. There's nothing wrong with mushrooms. Psilocybin is fine. They use psilocybin to treat fucking depression now and PTSD. Like heroin, not great, right? You don't want to do heroin. Like no one has ever just tried heroin, right? Like no one's like, oh yeah, I'll just try it once. That's not how that works.
Yeah,
it's not a thing, right? Like
I did it once and every day since.
Yeah, like I would probably draw the line at like ecstasy. Now I've never done ecstasy, but like I hear a lot of people talk about it, and like it's the worst thing that happens is like you like touching things and you like hugs. Like imagine that, like how bad is a drug that makes you want to hug everybody?
Yeah,
right. Like that's what you hear. Like for people that do ecstasy or MDMA, technically is what it is. Like people that are on MDMA, like all they want to do is like hug things. Like, is that really that bad? I don't know. It's not
must be awful.
It's not like Coke, where like people get coked up and they like rob a fucking bank, or you know what I mean? Or they get into like a crazy fight. Like that's not awesome, right? Like, but someone does MDMA and was like, wow, man, like I love you. like they just get annoying and like try and fucking hug you.
That's
you know
what it
I mean?
sounds. It sounds fucking annoying.
Versus like someone that does Coke and like doesn't shut the fuck up and like you want to just punch them in the face. But before you can do that, they punch you in the face.
I was gonna say definitely not gonna win that one.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, like bath salts, you definitely don't want to do that. You don't want to be eating people's faces off.
Yeah, they'll eat your face off too.
Yeah, PCP is no bueno. Like there's a lot of shit that's like, don't fuck with that. But like I said, weed, mushrooms, which is psilocybin, really. DMT is fine. It's like a super intense trip, but it only lasts for like 10, 15, 20 minutes.
I think that's another thing is duration. Remember they also used to say that you would store weed in your fat cells?
Yeah.
Or like or alcohol, like weed and alcohol, you would store them in your fat cells. So if you like worked out hard enough, you'd get high or drunk or something. Do you remember hearing that?
Yep. I remember that. I remember hearing that. That was another crock of shit. Yeah.
I thought that's where you were going when you were like the glass of orange juice man, but I was like, I kind of remember people saying, I forget if it was weed, alcohol, or both.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you store it in your fat cells so that when you work out and you burn fat, you get drunk or high.
Yeah. And people would, again, this is dare. They would try and scare you and be like, yeah, if you do any of these drugs once, at any moment in the future, you can just snap back and have a relapse. And it's like, wow, like as a child, that's terrifying. But as an adult, I'm like, I've smoked a lot of weed and eaten a lot of edibles in my lifetime. I've never been sitting at work on a Wednesday afternoon at like 1:00, be like, oh my God, I just randomly got high again. That doesn't happen. Like that literally doesn't happen.
Well, it's because you didn't do LSD and break your back.
Yeah. 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 What is it, like a glow stick? Like you snap the glow stick and shake it up. It's like, that's your fucking spinal column.
Yeah.
You snap it and the LSD just fucking goes again. Like,
yeah.
Fuck off.
Never
dude.
mind
like,
that
that's
someone
so fake.
Yeah. Never mind someone who breaks their back is probably going to be on painkillers, and that's why they're fucking high.
Right. Those are not ideal either. Like you don't want to do pain pills. That's the other thing. Like I said, I would probably draw the line at MDMA. And then anything else past that, like pain pills, fuck that. Like even I had my wisdom teeth out in high school and they gave me, I forget whether they gave me Percocet or Vicodin. It doesn't matter. But I remember I took one and I felt so fucking sick that I was like, I don't want that. I don't need them. And I ended up just taking like 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. And I was actually better in like a day or two. I healed up pretty quickly. And then, I mean, I was a little sore. I was sore for like a week, but like after like a day, all my swelling went away. Cause you know, some people get like the fucking chipmunk cheeks and like the black eyes. Yep. I didn't get any of that. It's like I said, my swelling was probably gone in a day and I was probably like mostly pain-free after like 3 or 4 days. And I think I was back to eating normal food after like a week, maybe a week and a half. So I think I had a pretty solid recovery, but yeah, I remember taking whatever it's called, a Vicodin, and just being like zombie, like, oh my God. And I remember like my stomach just fucking hurt. Like, I don't think I was in pain, but like, I can't really remember because that was what, 13 or 14 years ago. I think I was 16 when I had my wisdom teeth out, 16 or 17. So it was like almost 15 years ago. So I don't really remember how much pain I was in, but I'm pretty sure I took the Vicodin, couldn't feel anything, but like my stomach hurt so bad. And I was like, I don't need that. So I don't know what we did with them. My mom probably fucking sold them to someone or gave them to someone to sell. My mom didn't sell drugs, but I think she gave them to someone to sell or like give to someone or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, that would have been funny. Imagine my mom selling drugs. That's but
I had generic Vicodin, whatever that is, hydrocodone or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took them. I mean, I was fine. I do remember I drank. I was on I had the Kenny Powers. It was it was a Vicodin and 2 Miller. I think I had Miller Lights. It was like a Vicodin and 2 Miller Lights, and I was rocked.
Yeah.
But like that's all I needed for the night.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there and I'm like, wow, this is fucking something.
Yeah. There was a time in college that the kids in Sigma Chi, the fucking cool, all the cool kids in the frat, they like dosed one of the kids in the frat, one of their brothers. He was like drinking I think he was drinking like a pint of like Jack Daniels, and one of the other kids took a Klonopin and like crushed it up and like put it in the pint and like gave it to him. So the kid like was drinking the Jack Daniels. Like I think it's college. So I think he had like the pint of Jack Daniels and a fucking ginger ale and was like swigging just back and forth from both, because that's the stupid shit you do when you're in college. And I think he got like halfway through the pint and like passed the fuck out.
Yeah, no, that's
like,
what I figured would happen.
He was fucked up, and they thought it was like the funniest thing ever. And I was like, okay, all right, it's cool. Yeah. I hung out with them a lot, but I never, obviously never joined. I rushed one of the, so this is hilarious. Have I ever told this story? I mean, I might have told you this story, but so there was like, so my roommate, my freshman year college roommate, joined Sigma Chi. I don't know, probably second semester of freshman year. So I went to Rush Week with him and like hung out with all them, like met them, whatever. But like I didn't join. And then there was a bunch of other kids like our freshman year that joined. So I was friends with them. So I have like, 4 or 5 friends that all joined Sigma Chi freshman year. And then I just rushed and never did anything after that. So then the fall of sophomore year, I went to Rush Week again, like every single event, and then just didn't pledge. And then I went to the spring and rushed every event and didn't pledge. And it got to the point where my fall semester of my junior year, I went to the Rush again, just to like have fun and get fucked up and party. And they like pulled me aside and was like, dude, you can't do this anymore. Like you either need to not come to Rush Week anymore and like just hang out with us like randomly, or you need to pledge. So I was like, okay, I'll play the game. I'll pledge. So I go to Rush Week. I tell them I'm going to pledge. We get to the end of the Rush Week. They do this like bullshit fucking like fake ceremony where they like take you in the basement of the house and turn all the lights off. And they're like, do you want to commit to this or whatever? And like, we're going to offer you this position. Like, do you accept? And I looked at them and I was like, do I have to tell you right now? And again, it's my friends, right? Like I've hung out with them for like 3 fucking years now. We're juniors in college. So I go, do I have to tell you guys right now? And they're like, well, we need to know by like tomorrow. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll let you guys know tomorrow. And then like I leave the room, like I fucking go back to the party and like do whatever. And the next day rolls around. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to join. And then, I mean, I still hung out with them. I was still friends with all of them, but like, I obviously never joined the fraternity and just kind of enjoyed the spoils without actually ever having to join.
Well, dude, save yourself the trouble.
Yeah. It was the dumbest thing ever. It was like $600 for the, like as a college kid, right? Like you have to pay, I forget whether it had to have been 600 a year.
Yeah.
I think that's not right. A semester.
No,
but it's like this whole stupid thing. And you have to do like certain events. And like I said, like the one fucking thing, they like take you in the basement and turn all the lights off. And like fucking someone walks in with a fucking sheet on their head. Not like the KKK, like a fucking, that was a bad example. That was a bad choice of words on my part, but they walk in like fucking a robe or something, like something's like covering their face. So you can't see them, but they're my friends. So I know their voice. Like I know who you are. You're talking to me. And it's like, it's just the whole fucking dog and pony show. And I was like, this is so stupid. I'm not joining this stupid fraternity when I can still hang out with you guys. And they're like, yeah, but like, then you can't come to like the secret events. And I go, oh no. I'll still show up to all of your parties and get really fucking hammered.
Yeah, but those secret events.
Yeah, but like we do a lot more. It's a lot more. It's a brotherhood. All right, cool, man. Enjoy your brotherhood.
I'm not going to talk to any of you motherfuckers once I leave here. That's for damn sure.
Well, then they try and sell it to you like, oh, it's great networking, right? Like you can go and it's like, all right, cool, man. Like maybe, you know what I mean? Like maybe, like,
yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Show me the exercise science people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, everyone's a comm major. Sick.
Yeah. And that was also back then when the Saints were fucking hot, because Drew Brees and Sean Payton were both in Sigma Chi. So they were like, oh yeah, they're our brothers and like they're brothers and they play together and that's their bond and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure their bond is that it's a quarterback and a coach and they're both really fucking good at their job.
And employed by the same team. I'm
pretty sure they don't do their stupid fucking handshake. Because that was the other thing. Like it was like some stupid, like you like lock. I figured it out. I started doing the handshake with them. And like one time I got yelled at. They were like, you can't do that. And I go, yeah, but I know what it is. They're like, you shouldn't. I go, well, I watch all you dickheads give each other this stupid fucking handshake. Like it was literally like, you go to shake a hand, you like lock pinkies, like turn over, come up and do some other stupid, I forget what it is. It was like fucking 10 years ago, but it was, I remember the locking the pinkies part, and then you do some other goofy shit. And like one person legitimately yelled at me. They're like, don't ever fucking do that again. And I was like, okay, pal, I won't do your top secret handshake ever again.
What's their top secret hand job technique?
They just lock pinkies. Blow.
Do they lock pinkies for that too?
Yeah, no, they just use their mouths.
All right, I mean, teach their own.
Yeah, fraternities are fucking stupid.
Yeah, especially in Massachusetts,
especially at Bridgewater State.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think I would ever be like a fraternity person, but I can at least recognize that at real schools, they might have some value.
Yeah. Even as far as you came with us to WPI, right? When we went to visit Dan.
I don't think I was with you, but I went with me and Jaimo went.
Yeah, me and Bill went. Did Vinny come with us? I thought there was someone else with us, but it could have just been me and Bill.
I know me and Jaimo went one year.
Okay.
Like we were freshmen. Bill didn't drink yet.
Okay. So me and Bill went one year. And so it would have had to have been my sophomore year, because that's when we were all in college and Bill was drinking and you guys were seniors. Yeah, because Dan was the president of his frat.
Oh, okay.
At WPI. And I remember like walking into this fucking like frat house and being like, holy shit. Like, now, again, since I've gotten older, I realize that WPI is not a real college. But at that time, when I walked into this frat house, I was like, wow, this is what a real college is like. It's like, no, they just have actual fraternity houses.
Yeah. But their setup was sick, though.
Their setup was fucking unreal. It was nuts. They had a blue. They had like
his name was Tuna.
Yeah, Tuna. Yeah, but I mean, they had a blue, like an old guy in old school.
Yeah.
They had Tuna, and I remember walking into their basement, and their basement was a club.
Yeah,
it was like a legitimate club with a full service bar. Like it was literally like you would, and they had a separate entrance that you could walk from outside to go right into the basement. And like they told us, like, they would have parties like in the basement, and the brothers would just be like the bouncers at the door and like let people in. And there would be like a bartender serving at this fucking thing. It was wild. It was a fucking club in the basement of this frat house. It was insane. The upstairs was nuts. It had like fucking 12 bedrooms or however many fucking bedrooms it had. Like it was insane.
Oh yeah. That was a mess.
Yeah.
Oof.
Didn't they have a big room with a giant pool table in it too?
That I don't know.
I don't really remember that well.
Yeah,
But
I mean, for me, that was like 14 years ago now.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember tuna. I remember the Milwaukee's best
Yeah.
heavies. Yeah, whoever their source was, they could get natty, natty. I'm sorry, Keystone Ice in the black can.
Yep.
Milwaukee's best heavy, and I want to say Old Milwaukee, but that could be wrong. That because I think that's what Red Foreman drank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah.
I remember someone had pallets of fucking Monster Javas.
Oh God. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That was a good time. And then it was funny, like, because obviously I worked in Worcester for a while. My office in Worcester was like right around the corner from the WPI campus. And I'm like, would drive through it sometimes and be like, I like vaguely remember it. And then I saw the house and I was like, oh shit, there's the fucking house. And then like I'm just driving around being like, what a dumbass. Like, remember when I thought like WPI was a real college? Like there's like fucking 3 buildings.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I don't even know what WPI is. That's the only time I've been there.
Yeah.
Was the 2 houses with the combined backyard.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, other than that, no clue.
None. All right. You want to start wrapping this up, or do you want to run through one more piece of news? It's up to you. What do you think?
What time are we at?
It's 8:30.
I meant, what are we on the recording?
Oh, I don't know. Zoom doesn't give us a timestamp how long we've been going.
Seems like a flaw in the technology.
Yes, I would say.
I don't know. We've been doing this a while. We can wrap this up.
All right.
So this was a topic at work, and it usually comes up, and I know how I'm wired, so I'm putting this out there. If I was retired, I sure as shit would not be finding or working a new job. No fucking way. And I was like, I know my father's going to be prime example of that, where he can't wait to retire and then find his new job. I will not be that person. No way, no how, no fucking way. Now, I know the reasons why some people retire and then get another job. It's like, oh, keep busy. Don't worry, I'm good. It's like, oh, well, I still need the money. It's like, I guess I'll keep working. That's the thing is if I'm ready to retire, but I can't afford to not work, then doesn't that sound like not retirement?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, isn't retirement supposed to be that you can stop working and not work anymore?
Yeah.
Like, why would I stop working to work? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
The health insurance is a thing. I know that's a thing.
Yeah. But that's why like you just have to wait so you can go on Medicare.
I know, but sometimes you got to wait like a long time. Was it 65, 67?
65, yeah, I think.
So it's like if you're fiscally ready to retire, but you got no health insurance, it's like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened to my uncle. My uncle was he worked in the post office. He retired at like 58. And then he went and got a full-time job as a fucking janitor. But like
he got health insurance.
Yeah, he just got a full-time job. He was like, it's great. I sweep floors, I clean, I mop. It was, I don't have to think. It's great.
That's my father wants to go cut grass at a golf course because he can do it early in the morning. He doesn't have to talk to anyone.
Right.
But so like, put it to you this way. If I like literally retired from one job and then went to work another job for the health insurance, I wouldn't call myself retired.
Right.
Like that doesn't make any sense. It's like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm retired. It's like, oh, well, like, how's retired life? It's like, oh, well, I still work, 4 days a week. I'm like, that's not retirement.
Yeah.
You're working 4 days.
Yeah. Like if you're working 4 days a week, like that better be like 4-hour shifts. I mean, like some of the old guys that I worked at the liquor store, like
Yeah.
they were retired, but like they worked at the liquor store maybe 3 or 4 days a week, but it was like a 4-hour shift or a 6-hour shift. Like it wasn't anything. Like they would come in at 8 and they would be out by 12. Like they would work Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 to 12. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like they would.
So that for sure would not be me.
Yeah.
No fucking way. Because there used to be the guys at Stop and Shop that would do it too. It's like they still back. It's like, oh, I like, you get to see people and talk to people. And I'm like, no,
I'm good.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Not a chance. And I had a little bit of a glimpse of it outside of having to get back here for Leo on Friday. It was like I woke up early-ish, took him for a walk, brought him home, threw him in the crate, went to the golf course, warmed up, played 18, grabbed food on my way out, came back home. Then me and him went to Petco. It's like, then by the time I got home from Petco, it was like almost like dinner time. I'm like, I could easily fucking keep busy.
Oh, yeah.
Every day. And I don't like, why the fuck would you bag groceries because you like to see people? Like that is retarded. That is
stupid.
Absolutely retarded.
It is 100%.
So I don't know. I got a glimpse of it on Friday and I'm pretty sure I would fucking thrive in that situation.
Yeah. Cause then like
you would not catch me.
You can go do shit too, right? Like you can drive the 3 hours to Truro to go play golf in Truro and then drive the 3 hours back. It's like, what the fuck else are you going to do? You're old, right? So you're probably going to be awake at 4:30 in the morning. So you might as well leave the house at 5 get there at, 8 for a 9 o'clock tea time, warm up again, because you're old. So it takes you an hour, go play 18. You're done by 1 o'clock. You go get in the car, drive home. You're home by 4. And then you're ready for bed by 7:30. Because again, you're old. And it's like, that seems amazing to me. Like, I can't wait to be fucking 70 and like not do anything.
I know. I just like it just,
but still do something. You know what I mean? Like to not do anything, but still be busy and doing something.
Like it just blows my mind that like some of the guys at the golf course. So like, if you don't like golf, I guess it gets a little bit harder, but
right.
Like the guys at the golf course will still like work or whatever. And it's like, oh, I got to play early today. I'm working this afternoon. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Like really, if you like warm up practice for half an hour, you play in 4:15. So we're talking about 5-ish hours plus whatever time it takes you to drive there. And then if you like get food, whatever, 6 hours now.
Yeah.
Plus commuting time. It's like,
that's a full day.
That is plenty of time. What else do you need to do?
Yeah. The answer to that is nothing.
I would fucking not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with me is I'm either not retired or I'm retiring and I'm not fucking doing it halfway.
Right.
Because I assure you, when I am retired, I'm not running around like a dickhead all the time.
Yeah. Well, depending on how the fucking world goes, like people are saying like our generation probably isn't going to be able to retire anyway. Like we might not be able to retire until we're like fucking 70.
What the fuck does that mean?
It's because Social Security is going to run out.
Okay.
So there's not enough like Social Security income to be retired and just collect on top of your own retirement. So like if you can save enough money for retirement that you don't need to rely on Social Security, then you're fucking good. But like a lot of people just do both, right? Like it's free money, literally.
Yeah,
why would you decline free money?
Yeah, I'm not going to decline free money.
Yeah.
But I'm also not sitting here relying on the fucking useless government.
Right. No, exactly.
Like what? You're going to trust them to take care of you?
Well, part of it too. So part of that statement is that the first half is that Social Security is supposed to like fucking run out or whatever. And then the second half is that our generation has been fucking as a general rule, has been dog shit when it comes to retirement. Like most people our age either don't have a retirement plan or, fucking it's basically doesn't exist.
Hate to see it, I guess.
Yeah. I saw something, I think it was on Twitter. I think it was Uberfacts on Twitter. And I'm making up the numbers off the top of my head, but it's somewhat close. I think it was like 57% of people aged 25 to 40, I think it was, have searched for a vacation in the last 6 months, but only like 21% of people in the same age range have searched anything about retirement.
Yeah, they need their vacations. They've earned it.
Yeah, they work hard. They're like teachers. They're heroes, especially if they're teachers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was some statistic, some similar statistic to that, where like more people spend time searching vacations than they do researching about retirement.
Yeah, they'll just do it later.
Yeah. Oh, I'm only 30. Why do I need to worry about retirement? It's like, you're dumb. You're so dumb. So I started early. I think I started when I was 25. And I wish I started sooner, because when I was 22, I think I've said this before. But when I was 22, I was working as a personal trainer at Fitness Together. And I had a client that was like a financial advisor or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, what are you doing for your retirement plan?" Because you just talk when you're personal training. And I was like, "I don't have one. I'm 22." And he was like, "You should start one now." And I go, "Yeah, do I really need one though?" And he goes, "Yeah, you do." He goes, "If you start one now versus when you start one at 30, like that 8 years can come out." I forget what he's probably said, like $1 million or something like that. It's a difference. And I go, "Wow, that's really good. I should start one." And then I never did because I was 22 and stupid. But I think I did eventually start when I was like 25.
So I don't know when I started, but I need to do more.
Yeah. I would like to do more. I just can't afford to do more right now.
Yeah, but I'm even talking like $50 out of a paycheck or something.
Oh yeah, I do 75 a paycheck.
I don't know. I move money all over the place, but I don't have just even just like a regular IRA. I don't even have one of those.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because what do you mean? Your job doesn't sponsor you a 401k?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you
asked someone
did like,
doesn't make any sense.
I was going to say, like, is there any tax benefit there? Like for you to like not hide money, but like for you to move money into a retirement account via the business, like would it change?
There needs to be money to hide.
Okay.
So if there's no money to hide, then there's nothing to do.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
And then it also gets a little squirrely because it's a partnership. It's not a you're not the sole
it's all going to be
proprietor.
It's all going to be equal. And then even our accountant was saying, he goes, doing that stuff pre-tax doesn't, I guess if like I'm trying to reason in my head right now, but he said it's better to do it post.
Yeah.
Than pre. And I assume that's because if you take post-tax dollars and invest them, that money's already been taxed, so you don't get taxed when it comes back out.
Right. You would theoretically pay more taxes on
by
pre-tax money that goes in. Yeah.
So
because that money is going to accumulate and get more. So you would pay more in taxes.
Yeah. So I think the way that went was if you draw it and pay taxes on it, like let's just say me and him wanted to invest $10,000 at the end of 2022. So instead of taking 20K off the business and doing all the taxes that way, draw the 10K, pay the taxes individually, and then invest it. He said the math works out better for that, but that's only because I'm self-employed.
Right.
For most people, it works in their favor, I think.
Yeah.
I actually don't really know.
Yeah, that's why people say that the Roth IRA is preferred, because the Roth IRA is post-tax money.
Dollars, and you don't take a tax deduction.
Correct. It's not deductible.
And then when you withdraw it,
but your money is your money. Like the money that you see in the account when you retire at, or when you become eligible to draw at 65 is the money that's there, right? Like if you have a traditional IRA and you have $1 million and you withdraw it, you really only have 750,000.
Yeah, you get taxed on the million.
But if you have $1 million in the Roth, that's $1 million. That's $1 million. Yeah. So, all right. Well, what is my final thought going to be? Oh, I got one. Have you been watching She-Hulk?
No, I was waiting for them all to come out.
Okay.
Are they all out?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. I think there's 4 of them that are out. It's not great. It doesn't suck, right? It's not bad, but it's a little, I don't know, it's a little gimmicky. I feel like I was too early in my Marvel prediction, because when I was talking about, the Shang-Chi, like right around then when I was like famously, or infamously, oh, Shang-Chi, that's going to fucking suck. It doesn't have anything to do. Shang-Chi was probably one of the best movies of all fucking 30 Marvels that have come out. I would put Shang-Chi in the top 5 easily. Just a great fucking movie. But then the Eternals was kind of like, nah, it wasn't awesome. Again, I wouldn't say it sucked, but it wasn't good. I was below average, I would say. Like again, I'm just assuming, say there's 30. I don't know how many movies there actually are, but the Eternals is in the bottom 15 of the 30 Marvel movies. And then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness came out. Left a little bit to be desired. That's probably also in the bottom 15 of the 30 movies. It's in the bottom half. And then Miss Marvel came out, and Amy and I bailed on the show after the first episode. I think we watched one episode and was like, this is stupid. I don't want to watch this. So we just never even watched Miss Marvel. And then now we have She-Hulk, and it's like, it's not great. Like I said, it's below average. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's just weird. It's gimmicky. It's fucking, they tried to do too much with it, I think. Like they try and make it almost like a little bit like The Office, like Parks and Rec, when like people turn to the camera, you know what I mean? Or like, there's a lot of stuff where the main like She-Hulk, the character, will like turn and like break the fourth wall and just like talk to the audience. And it's like, okay, whatever. Like, I get it. We've seen this before, but like, you're not doing it that good. So I think Marvel's starting to do the downturn. I think I was just 6 months too soon. I think we're in the downswing, because the other thing of that is Amy and I just watched Thor, Love and Thunder last night. And that also wasn't good. I didn't think it was a good movie. It was. So have you ever watched any of Taika Waititi's other stuff?
No.
So I feel like Thor Ragnarok, when it came out, it kind of saved Marvel, right? Because the movies were kind of a little weird. Like Thor 2 was not that good. Like Iron Man 3 was like, okay, we're getting a little stale here. And
I think it saved Thor and opened a door for a little bit of comedy, different humor, whatever, because Winter Soldier was still good.
Yes. Civil War is fine.
I don't know why people don't like Civil War. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I thought Civil War is
thought it
good.
was pretty good.
I enjoy it. It's probably in my top 10.
Um, I'm trying to think.
Ultron,
Yeah, Ultron was a little weak.
yeah.
Like Black Panther was good.
Yep, Black Panther was really good. But yeah, so Ragnarok kind of opened the door and like bloomed this like new thing, right? So what I feel like what happened was in Ragnarok, it was a Marvel movie that was directed by Taika Waititi. And Thor Love and Thunder was a Taika Waititi movie that happened to be about Thor in Marvel. Because like I said, I've seen some of his other stuff, and it was very much like it was almost like Ragnarok did so well that like Kevin Feige turned around and was like, okay, Taika, like you just do your thing with this. You know, like I feel like they had the reins in on him a little bit for Ragnarok, and then they realized it was okay, that it did really well, and they were like, cool, man, like let's just let you do your own thing. Um, and Thor: Love and Thunder was very much a Taika Waititi movie where it was like comedy where it didn't need to be, and like this like weird like tried to be funny in spots that it doesn't, you don't need humor, right? It's forced humor, which in sometimes can actually be funny. Like forced humor can be funny in like a roundabout way, but like it was too much of it. um Christian Bale was great as the villain. I always like Christian Bale is just a phenomenal fucking actor. um but it was weird. It felt a little disconnected because of the forced comedy, right? Like when the times were being serious, it was almost like I was sitting there waiting for like some stupid comedy thing to like break up the seriousness, right? We're like, oh, here we go. Like even this isn't a spoiler, but when they were fighting, right? Like when Thor was fighting Christian Bale, he said something and it was like, do whatever. And Thor goes, I'll do that when you go to the dentist. Cause he's got like fucking weird teeth. And it's like, you're in the middle of a battle scene right now. Like this is like the action part. And you like had to force that line in, right? Like you had to be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, when you go to the dentist. It's like, all right, man. Like I didn't need that. You know, it's just, and maybe I'm being nitpicky. Maybe I'm being an asshole, which I probably am. But I didn't think it was that good.
Yeah, and I think what's going to end up happening with that movie is it's going to sort of stand alone because none of this is confirmed, denied. So if you don't want to hear it, stop listening. But they've even talked about how so he probably had free reign because I saw something about how it's not really in the Marvel plans to introduce the Greek gods, yet he did.
Yeah.
And like introducing Hercules and the
Zeus was really bad.
that was dumb.
Russell Crowe was awful as Zeus.
Well,
Like,
I think
like awful.
The character development didn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then having Hercules and whatever, either mid credits, post credits don't matter.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if I think he did that on his own.
Yeah. Because there's no Hercules movie or series that's planned.
Well, there's also, I mean, they introduce characters. So this is one of the pet peeves I've had is they introduce characters without necessarily a
yeah, like what's his name? Scott Walker, Agent fucking America, whatever the fuck his name was.
Oh, John Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's coming. I think he is coming back. Like they have a plan for him.
Well, is he part of the Thunderbolts?
I think so.
Yeah.
The woman at the end of Doctor Strange, Charlize.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Charlize Theron.
who the fuck is she?
Right. Right.
And then it's like, okay, so then also in Doctor Strange, like the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Like the Illuminati was just a group of superheroes, and it's like
it was John Krasinski. They brought back Sir Patrick Stewart
yeah,
as Professor X,
and
but
it's like Monica Rambeau. Like she'll be back. We know that, I think.
yeah,
Monica Maria. I don't know which one it was now.
Monica. Maria is the mom.
Oh, is she dead? She's supposed to be dead, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember. No, it was Maria.
Yeah, it's the mother.
Monica was in WandaVision. Maria was the mom.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like they introduced all that. It's like they just it just feels like they've introduced a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess with, again, I mean, internet rumors are internet rumors. I guess Taika Waititi just did all that. And it's like there's no plans to bring in the Greek gods or Hercules.
Yeah.
But he introduced them. So it's like this, I think when you look back, this movie is gonna more or less be a punt.
Yeah.
Because what is there to take away from it?
Nothing.
So
yeah.
Like it didn't advance the storyline in any way.
No.
Unless the Greek gods are now in play. But if they're not going to be in play, then nothing happened.
Right. There were a few like Easter eggs in it that I noticed when I was watching. Like the Celestials were in it. When Thor busted out the window after when he fought the Greek god, when he killed Zeus, or no, actually he didn't kill Zeus, but when he fucked up Zeus, and the window blew open, there were two Celestials sitting outside, like looking in to like omniscient land or whatever, omnipotent land, wherever the fuck it was called.
I'd have to watch it again. I saw it when it came out.
Yeah. There was the Watcher was there in like the final battle when they're in like that hallway. The other stupid thing about it, and Amy said this, was now Thor can just like give his power to people. When he like gave his power to the kids and the kids like fought all the shadow monsters or whatever. So like in that final battle scene.
But weren't they as Guardians?
No, not all of them.
Wasn't one of them Heimdall's kid?
One of them was, yeah. But they're not all as Guardians.
Yeah, and it's hard to say. It's a leap to say that they're all worthy. Yeah.
But in that scene, like when they were fighting in there was a statue in the background, and it was of the Watcher from the What If cartoon series. So like there were some little things here and there.
Yeah, but yeah, I just don't know that Thor: Love and Thunder advanced the storyline at all, and as a standalone movie, it was lackluster.
Yeah, I agree. And She-Hulk is also not that great either. So we're in the Marvel downturn. That's my final thought.
What's coming out next?
I don't know. Probably a really good movie.
Oh, say it's gonna be Nails because you've predicted the downturn again.
Yeah, I have no idea. Marvel.
It's not that important. It's not that important.
Yeah. All right, so that is it for us. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, like, rate, subscribe, thumbs up, share, tell everybody you know. Same thing, audio only. 5 stars on Spotify and iTunes if you can. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. The website, sarcasmspeaks.com. Thank you to mybookie.com. Use the promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up. Double your first deposit up to $1,000. Also, thank you to grillyourassoff.com. Use the same promo code SarcasmPod when you check out to get 10% off your entire order every single time. Multiple use coupon over there. SarcasmPod, grillyourassoff.com. Great stuff. I used them today when I made the brisket. So until next time, good night.